Hello and welcome to Impact the Borough, a podcast from the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce. I'm Brent Christensen, the President and CEO of the Chamber. Each week we'll highlight what we're doing to start and grow businesses, create quality jobs, and develop our workforce. We'll also check in with our community partners to share inspiring stories and important information from across our community. This podcast is brought to you by Truliant Federal Credit Union, a modern, mission-driven financial institution focused on the needs of its members, the businesses it serves, and our community. With 5 locations in Guilford County, including a dedicated commercial lending office at Friendly Center and a highly rated mobile banking app, Truliant makes it their business to help you grow yours. Visit Truliant.org for more information.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. As you guys know, this is a podcast focusing on what we are doing in the Greensboro area to start and grow businesses and tell our inspiring story to the world. My name is Kelly Fraser-Reyes, and I am on the board of Launch Greensboro. Launch Greensboro accelerates growth for entrepreneurs starting businesses in the Greensboro Triad area by providing education, mentoring, and access to capital. We have a really exciting episode today. We are talking about basically what we call the Super Bowl of Launch Greensboro, which is an event that we call Capital Connects. I have with me today Adam Duggins, who is on the board and also a Greensboro business owner, and also 2 individuals that have been through Capital Connects and have been involved in Launch and are going to give us a little bit of insight on what their experience was like and what they're up to now. So let's get started with Adam. I'm going to hand it over to you just to tell us a little bit about yourself and give us the scoop on why you're on the board and why is Launch important to you.
Great. Thanks, Kelly. As Kelly said, my name is Adam Duggins. I'm actually a boomerang, which is a new fun term that we're using here both in the Triad and Greensboro. As someone who was born and raised here, had a kind of great upbringing here, but then left for the bigger cities and pursued a number of different paths and across the Southeast. In Atlanta and DC. I moved back 8 years ago and started New Page Capital, which is a small private equity firm that targets local businesses, kind of existing businesses where there's no clear succession plan. And when I moved back, one of the things that I quickly noticed was I felt like the Triad and Greensboro in particular were really ripe for creating an environment of an area where you can create a lot of opportunity for entrepreneurs. One of the things that I had seen in my prior career was one of the reasons why entrepreneurs often struggled was a couple of reasons. One was cost. And so if you look at a lot of the areas where there's kind of a budding entrepreneurship community, one of the things you see is that it's typically in more high cost areas. And as an entrepreneur and as an entrepreneur myself, high living costs can often be counter to what you're trying to do to start your own business, whether you're putting your own capital at risk or others' capital at risk as well. And so that's why I felt like the Triad, while we still have larger city amenities and access to a lot of different things that entrepreneurs need, you don't necessarily have the high living costs that you see in other areas. And so I felt like that was a real opportunity. And as I got involved in the entrepreneurship community, I met Louie and Flanders Steck, who's the ED over at Launch Greensboro, and got pretty involved pretty quick. The big reason I'm on the board, at Launch Greensboro is really I see Launch Greensboro as really the aggregator of a lot of different resources for entrepreneurs. And the reason I love Launch Greensboro and what it does is I think it helps all types of entrepreneurs. I think if you go to other communities, there's organizations that get very focused on say software entrepreneurs or manufacturing entrepreneurs, or maybe it's a aviation entrepreneur. The thing I love about Launch is Launch helps all types. So those who maybe want to just start a business and it's just for them and it's a business and want to live here, versus those who want to have big dreams and scale up and build a business into something bigger and better. And I really like that launch targets those different types of entrepreneurs, because I feel like that creates an environment that that is inclusive of all types of folks. And I think that's an important thing, both for Launch Greensboro uh, and for Greensboro and the Triad as a whole. So Capital Connects. Capital Connects has been around a long time. We've been doing this for, I think, close to 20 years. I might not have that exact date right. But it originally started, I think, as something that is so challenging when you're an entrepreneur, and so challenging as a potential investor of entrepreneurs, is making that connection. And often it's because if you are an investor and you have access to capital and you want to invest in different entrepreneurship ventures, you're probably not working in an area that has a lot of entrepreneurs in it. And then the same is true vice versa. I think as an entrepreneur, you don't always, the network that helps you be successful in building your business may look different than the network that helps you successful in funding your business. And I think that spawned the idea of Capital Connects, and a number of different people over the last 20 years have been involved in its success. For me, what's so special about this event is it's the one time of year where we get really kind of a mass group of folks. We'll have 250, 300, 400 people at that event, and they're all different backgrounds and all different types. And so from my standpoint, I have used it both as an opportunity to with current investors, saying, hey, here's some really good opportunities for you to invest in. But just as importantly, I think something that is important from an investor standpoint, from a capital standpoint, is educating potential investors about what entrepreneurship looks like here in Greensboro. Every year we do this. I get as many folks as I can who I know have access to capital, who might be interested in this, and they walk away with the same reaction. Wow, I didn't know that was happening here. As I think about a mature entrepreneurial community, for me, it starts with, we've got to educate folks that we have this entrepreneurial community here, and many folks don't know about it. And so every year at Capital Connects, I start with the folks who want to invest in this type of entity, or investors who are looking for new opportunities, and I get folks involved there. And I think we all do that as board members of Launch Greensboro. And what it does is it grows that capital stack. It grows the potential investors for our area. From my standpoint, I think that's so critical, because I think so many of these folks want to invest in startups. They want to invest in the next big idea, want to invest in Greensboro, but they just don't know how to do it. And Capital Connects is a great entry point into that, of seeing what's possible here, seeing what ideas are possible, seeing the great young entrepreneurs that we have, who are coming up with the next big thing. In addition to that, it's also a great opportunity to meet more entrepreneurs, and to see kind of the best of the best over the past year or two of ideas that are coming out of this community. I always love the energy. It's always fun to see who wins. And what's kind of fascinating about it is, in many respects, everyone wins, because you always make great connections. And that's, it sounds cliche because it's called Capital Connects, but at the end of the day, that to me is the best thing, is just creating those intentional connections, and sometimes those unintended bump ins that happen at an event like this. And from my from my point of view, I think those are the ones that really matter. The ones where you walk in there and you didn't know you were going to see something that you were really passionate about, and you say, wait, I want to invest in that person. Or for that entrepreneur who says, wait a second, I see that guy's here, I want to go talk to that guy or that gal about my next big idea. And so it's I love how you called it the Super Bowl of what we do. It really is. And it's grown so much over the years because of people like you, Kelly, and other members of our board. And I'm super excited to see how it goes this year. It's going to be exciting to be back in kind of a dare I say, a COVID world where we can get together.
Absolutely. And just to echo what you said, Adam, I also think Launch has really built a reputation of having the best of the best entrepreneurs coming through Capital Connect. So I think people that, may be a little unsure or hesitant about investing locally feel really excited about the people that Launch will be presenting. And so I think they really have become that trusted resource of identifying and supporting, just a really great ongoing group of entrepreneurs. So speaking of those great entrepreneurs, I want to first introduce Leah. Leah Wyrick. She is the CEO and founder of Three Strands Recoverwear, and she has come through Capital Connects. So Leah, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I would love to. So my name is Leah Wyrick. I'm actually a senior at Wake Forest University. I'm a business student and finishing up my last year at Wake. I am the founder and CEO of Three Strands Recoverwear, and I founded my company after my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2016. She had a mastectomy, she had breast reconstruction surgery, and had many complications that we believe could have been prevented with the help of a really good recovery bra. I saw a really big gap in the market here, especially along with my mom's surgeon and my mentor today, Dr. Samuel Roy. Seeing that this doesn't just happen to my mom, it happens to millions of other women around the world, I decided to take action and create the Resilience Bra. So the Resilience Bra is a patent pending recovery bra, combining multiple unique features that are really targeted to just give women the comfort that they need to recover, and just give them the confidence as well, to support them as they go through this recovery process, and to just be there for them through this difficult time in their life.
That's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about how you came to be involved with Launch Greensboro?
Yeah, so I actually was introduced to Launch through Winston Start's accelerator program. I was actually entered into Winston Starts about a year ago this year. So I've been there for about a year and have loved every single second of it. Just the opportunity to be involved with so many wonderful mentors and so many different opportunities that stem from Winston Starts, especially getting opportunities to be in pitch competitions and to receive some more exposure. And being in competitions like Launch has been phenomenal, and a way to not only raise money, but and bootstrap my way through my company like I have been over the past 4 years, but meet a lot of people who really care and want to help me succeed on my journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your experience with Capital Connects.
I just can't even imagine just thinking about the opportunity that I've gotten with Capital Connects, and the opportunity to refine my pitch, to work on that 2-minute pitch, because I'm one of those people that I love to fit every little detail into 2 minutes. So I did work with my pitch coach to really nail down what are the most important aspects of my company, which I think has been a really big factor for me over the past couple of years. Is yes, I've got a lot of stuff going on, but what are the things that are the most important that can make me stand out and ultimately help me finance my company so that I can get my product on the market and help as many people as possible. Not only did I receive that kind of help to as an entrepreneur to make me a more versatile entrepreneur, but more importantly, received connections to people and just saw the network of people that wanted to help me and offered their services and offered just help. And as a young entrepreneur, especially in college, I couldn't ask for anything more than that. So I'm just very grateful for the opportunity to be in the Capital Connects pitch competition.
I love that. And one last question for you. What if you have any advice for applicants, upcoming applicants, or any advice for people that would be pitching, what would it be?
I would say definitely just utilize the connections that you have and the network that you have. I think the most important thing that I've learned as an entrepreneur is people want to help you, especially when you're a college student as well. People want to help you succeed. They want to see you grow. With the connections that I've had and the networking that I've had through Winston Starts and Capital Connects and accelerator programs like Center for Creative Economy Velocity program. It's just been phenomenal to see the amount of people that want to see you succeed and can give you advice and can give you connections to just help your company grow. And that's what I've experienced in the Winston-Salem area and Greensboro area over my past 4 years here. And I honestly couldn't be more grateful for that.
Awesome. And then for those of us that want to check out your company and stay in touch with you, what's the best way for us to do that?
Yes, so we have our website. It's www.threestrandscorp.com. We actually have had some recent PR coverage. I was a winner of Center for Creative Economy Velocity program, and had an opportunity to have some PR coverage there, especially through our Winston Starts ads. And then also they just featured an article on my company, Three Strands, I was an NC Idea micro grant recipient this week. So I'm very, very excited. So a lot of PR coverage recently, and it's been phenomenal to see the amount of support again. It's unbelievable to see the amount of support that I've been given over the past 4 years here. So thank you guys so much.
Congratulations. You really are building something that's awesome and unbelievable. So I'm so excited to hear that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, so Rich, you're up. Can you give us a little background on yourself, please?
Hey, thanks so much for having me. And I gotta say, last year when we were watching the first 2-minute pitches with our team, and when Leah went, we all looked at each other like, she better win. And then when she did at the end, we're like, all right, good, the judges got it right, because we were watching like, one, that's an awesome idea, and two, she better win. But yeah, once again, thanks so much for having me. My name is Rich Camacho. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Blue Recruit. We're a platform built for blue-collar skilled workers that are looking to grow their careers, and the company is desperate for their talent. One of the things I love right now is that I no longer have to explain the problem to anyone when I talk about what our company does. So that's always been really cool, because when you don't have to explain what the problem is to anybody, it's like, as long as you own a television or have gone to Target or Costco in the last like 2 months, I think you understand the whole problem right now with finding enough labor. But really, we got introduced to launch through Riot, and they're an accelerator out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And probably one of the things that I love the most about like the greater North Carolina ecosystem, kind of exactly what Leah said, everyone wants to help you. And as long as you're willing to put yourself out there, as long as you're willing to ask questions and of course do the work, people just want to help. And so we went through Riot, and the Riot team was like, hey, have you heard of this Launch Greensboro Capital Connects? I was like, nope, had never even heard about it. Filled out the application, and boom.
Awesome. And then can you tell me a little bit about your experience going through the pitch process?
Yeah, one of the things, and I say this to Luann every single time that we talk, is I think any entrepreneur that has gone through the fundraising process, one, understands how miserable fundraising is. And two, you're constantly kind of giving the same pitch over and over and over again. And so many times it ends with, yeah, that's a really good idea, we'll be in touch. And I got to say that while we went through the prep process to get to actual Capital Connects, it was the single best feedback we ever got. Like, it was kind of at the point where, why hasn't anybody, that was probably number 150 by the time we'd given that exact same pitch, and no one had given us such fantastic feedback. So yeah, the money was great to win. Yes, the exposure was awesome, but that feedback that we took from that has by far paid the most dividends.
That's awesome. I definitely think that's a unique thing about launch is first of all, the prep leading up to it, like really helping people nail the prep, the pitch. And then also I feel like people in this community and, Winston, the whole ecosystem are really invested in giving honest feedback versus just like you said, like, thanks, we'll talk to you later, and then never hearing from them again. So I think even, that kind of networking at an event like this of getting that feedback is such a special thing. So I'm glad that you touched on that. And if you had any advice for applicants coming up, what would your advice be?
I think the single most important thing is just to apply. I think in a lot of ways, and I blame Twitter for this, like you can find like 15,000 pitch competitions out there on any given day, like, oh, win $500 here, win $1,000 here. And again, yes, I totally understand, especially in the beginning. You have to do the pitch competitions as terrible as it is, kind of like fundraising, as terrible it is, as much time as it sucks up. It's just part of getting yourself out there and part of the exposure. But what I always have found what I've always been very fond of this particular competition is, yes, $7,500 was awesome to get, but we have had so many customers come to us from that experience. We've had, we closed multiple sales that night when people were like, I need this. How do I sign up? And then more importantly, you make them happy, and then they have 10 friends. And so that has really helped us to expand. Adam kind of mentioned earlier, there's Raleigh, Charlotte, you got your software hubs. Yeah, we have connections there, but it was hard to get the rest of the state. And Launch Greensboro really, lack of a better term, launched us into the smaller communities, more rural communities throughout the state.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. And if we want to keep up with you and keep in touch, what's the best way for us to find you?
You can check us out at bluerecruit.us. We are .us. .com is really, really expensive, and I'd have to win like 10 more Launch Greensboros in order to pay for it.
Okay, deal. We'll find you there. Thank you both so much for joining us. It was really great hearing about your experience, and I'm so happy that you shared it with us. And we will definitely stay in touch and be rooting for both of your companies. And for those of you out there that are interested in applying for Capital Connects, you can apply on the Greensboro or Launch Greensboro website, which is greensboro.org/launch. Or reach out to us via social on any of our social handles. And then also we are currently taking sponsors for Capital Connects. So sponsorships are a great way, obviously, to build upon this network and meet people, have FaceTime with them coming up to the event in March. And the event, I guess I should also say, is in March. It's being held in Greensboro at a new venue here called Elm & Bain. And we'll have lots of details coming up on social and on our website. So thank you guys so much for joining. We hope to see everybody there, and take care. Thank you.
This podcast is brought to you by Truliant Federal Credit Union, a modern, mission-driven financial institution focused on the needs of its members, the businesses it serves, and our community. With 5 locations in Guilford County, including a dedicated commercial lending office at Friendly Center and a highly rated mobile banking app, Truliant makes it their business to help you grow yours. Visit truliant.org for more information. You can find all of our episodes on YouTube thanks to our video sponsor, North State. Make sure to subscribe so you'll get new episodes delivered to your device each week. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at GSO Chamber. See you next time.